elections. He's predicted the last 13 presidential elections using his 13 keys system. Allan, very good evening to you. Take us briefly through your 13 keys. You did this on my programme a few weeks ago, and tell us your prediction tonight.
Yes, that's a couple of very big questions. The 13 keys gauge the strength and performance of the party holding the White House. They look at midterm election results, internal contests for the party holding the White House, whether the sitting president is running, third parties, long and short-term economy, social unrest, scandal, policy change, foreign policy successes and failures, and only two keys have anything to do with the candidates, and they ask whether the incumbent or challenging party candidate are those rare, once-in-a-generation, charismatic candidates. And the way it works, if 6 or more go against the party holding the White House, they are predicted losers. But at the end of 2019, Trump had only 4 keys out against him, too short of a predicted defeat. But then we got his botched response to the pandemic and the cries for social and racial justice, and that cast him 3 more keys. The short-term economy key, measured by an election year recession, the long-term economy key because of the negative growth, and the social unrest key because of what's raging across the land. So he is now 7 keys down and a predicted loser, and Joe Biden is predicted to be the next president of the United States. And never in history in the U.S. has the party holding the White House suffered such a sudden and dramatic reversal of fortune in just a few months.
So you put this down to the COVID pandemic largely, do you?
Well, no, both to the COVID pandemic and to the failed response to the COVID pandemic. You know, Donald Trump told Bob Woodward he knew the pandemic of the coronavirus was far more deadly than even the strenuous flu that had spread through the air. And he repeatedly lied to the American people, saying it would disappear, it's under control. He's still lying, saying we turned the corner while it's raging. So it's not just the pandemic, it's the failed response to the pandemic.
And those keys you describe, and the economic impact of coronavirus clearly is huge wherever in the world you're talking about. But he has some good economic figures. Less than a week ago, he was talking about them just today. Too late for him?
A, it's too late, and B, those figures are very deceptive. They're about the same as the second quarter decline, but we also had a first quarter decline, and the third quarter increases from a much lower base. And so we're still well down from where we started before the pandemic, and we're still 10 million jobs lost.
And the claims he makes for economic success in the 4 years of his presidency, how solid are they?
Well, given his failed response to the pandemic, they're not valid at all. We're going to have negative growth this year. Except for the first year when Obama inherited the recession, he didn't have a single year of negative growth. He's going to be the first president in modern history to preside over a net loss of jobs. And even before the pandemic, the last 3 years of the Obama administration saw more jobs added than the first 3 years of the Trump administration.
And is it your sense, it's coming through from our calls actually, and texts and tweets from listeners as well and viewers, is it your sense that Joe Biden almost didn't need to bring a policy platform with him in this election campaign? He just needed to not be what Donald Trump is?
I think there's a lot of truth to that. I think the keys to the White House show that essentially American presidential elections are votes up or down on the strength and performance of the party holding the White House. The American people ask whether, pragmatically, that party deserves 4 more years of governance.